Hello everyone, I am István and this is my channel Origami Around. Once again I have created a paper version of a popular flower using a combination of origami and papercraft. This time I choose branches of a peony rose, and this is the final result. I made a smaller and a larger version with the ulterior motive of possibly making a bouquet in the future with a larger design. It is not my first time experimenting with peonies. I have made a variation before back in 2016. It doesn't look bad from one or two angles, but there was a lot of room for improvement in the design overall. I wanted a simpler, cleaner, more decorative solution. However, I kept the idea of using the lotus base once again. For the flowers, I will use larger and smaller petals of pink regular rectangles. For the leaves, I will use smaller and larger green regular squares. If we take a closer look, we can see the small petals inside of the flower, made from 6 rectangles, and outside the larger size petals, also from 6 rectangles. I used 1 large leaf and 6 smaller ones for each branch. Plus you need some yellow paper for the stamens, wire for the stem, a little glue for the leaves, and I wrapped the whole thing with floral tape at the end. And these are the exact measurements in centimeters for the papers I used. For one branch you will need 6 big petal unit, 6 small petal unit, 1 big leaf unit, and 6 small leaf unit. Let's get started. I am intentionally showing it first on a large piece of paper. Fold the rectangle in half. Now unfold it. Fold back the sides on both ends. I am going to eyeball it this time, but later I will give you exact measurements for the smaller paper. Now fold these corners, but don't fold it all the way to the center, leave a gap like I do. Now repeat the same on the other side. Now turn it over. Fold the sides, this time exactly to the center line. Fold it in half in the middle. And this is one finished unit. So, for the 7 by 3.5 cm rectangles, I fold back 1 cm. And for the larger petals, the 9 by 4.5 cm ones, I fold back 1.3 cm on the sides. Now I will show you how to speed up the process. I will take one and use it as a template to create all the other petal units. It's that easy. Don't forget that you can make flowers of any size, just make sure that the proportions are correct. Make sure the units that have to be the same size are really the same size, and also make sure to always start from a regular rectangle. I also have a lotus rose video using the same unit. You can find it by clicking on the card in the top right corner or below in the description of the video. We can start to assemble the flower. Here are 6 large petal units from 9 by 4.5 cm rectangles and 6 small petal units from 7 by 3.5 cm rectangles. Now take 2 large units and 2 small units and put them inside of each other like this. Now make 3 of them. Now I'm going to tie these three together with wire. The wire should be exactly in the middle of each one. Make it as symmetric as possible. You can use pliers to tighten it. Now fold the two on each side in half to get a 6-pointed star like this. You can start folding up and shaping the petals. First start with 3, and you always have to skip one between them. I'm going to choose these 3 for a start. Now continue with the 3 we just skipped before. It should look like this. From this point onwards it will be very simple. You just need to fold up petals that will cover a gap between 2 neighboring ones. And keep going round and round until they are all folded. The small petals are done. At this point it should look like this. Now the bigger ones are next. Now I'm going to curl the edges and shape the flower into its final form. You can use a toothpick to make the edges of the petals even more curly. I will only curl the big petals. I curl them the less, the more inside they are. Such fun! Now comes the yellow paper, from which we cut stamens to put it in the center of our peonies. First I cut a test strip and see how much it sticks out from the center of the flower. Almost good, but it needs to be slightly narrower. I will cut 2 of them and glue them together to make it as thick and fluffy as possible. I will use a sharp pair of scissors to cut the slices as thin and even as possible. I do not cut it all the way through. Now I will roll it up. And once again I will try it out before I glue it in. Now I cut the second paper strip too and then glue it on top of the first one. Now I glue the middle part in and set the flower aside to dry. When the glue has set, I use a toothpick to separate the stamens to make it look more realistic. Such fun! I will now show you how to fold the leaf. As I said before, this will be made from a regular square. Hold it like this and fold it in half along the diagonal. Then fold it out. Fold the sides to the center line. I have a leaf folding video that you can find if you click on the card in the top right corner or check out the link in the description down below. You can learn several leaf shapes and also how to fold the veins on the leaves, which I will skip this time. Next step, these little flaps on the button should also be folded to the center line. Hold it like this and fold these little corners on the sides back to get a more realistic leaf shape. Now fold it in half. The following is the only tricky step, shaping the stalk of our leaf. Hold it like this and try to form a V shape as you fold it down. Pinch the back so you can shape the vein of the leaf in the middle. Now our leaf is finished. I will glue the leaves together by their stalks. The big ones goes between 2 small ones and the remaining 4 little ones in pairs. I will put a clothespin on it and let it dry. I will show you how I add the wire on another one. I will pierce the wire through at a point where the paper is thick enough. Then I try to roll it around, making it as firm as possible. I use pliers to keep the wire end from sticking out. And I use floral tape to completely cover where the wire meets the paper. It's worth wrapping it around as tightly as possible, but be careful not to tear it. I'm going to do exactly the same with the small leaves in pairs. I also cover the wire under the flower with floral tape. It is ready to assemble. Our peony branch is almost finished. Now I'm going to put the triple leaf on top of the right side. On the left side, a little lower, I put one of the double leaves. And the last double leaf goes to the right side, also a little lower. Now I wrap the stem of the branch completely with floral tape, covering all the remaining wires and the joints. At this point I decide to thicken the bottom part by wrapping an extra wire around it. It will be very firm and stable. A little more floral tape and it's done. I will shape and arrange every part nicely and as realistic as possible. Our peony branch is completely finished. Now let me show you some photos I took during the designing process and the video shoot. I will post these on social media sites. If you like the video, please support me with a like and subscribe to my channel. You can also support me on Patreon or on Ko-fi if you have the opportunity. On Patreon I also share behind the scenes photos, early access, extra content from time to time. Use hashtag origami_around if you make any of my designs, because I like to share them on Instagram with a mention. Thanks for watching, have fun folding!